Welcome to this week's market update, where we're going to be looking at what is happening in the stock market right now. We have got some juicy stocks for you to look at, which we can take advantage of going up and down, especially with what is happening with some of the vaccine companies out there. Also, Black Friday, of course, is happening this week. I'm sure you'll be taking advantage of that. But are you taking advantage of the online retailers that we are looking to get into? And last but not least, of course, cryptocurrencies are going crazy. Is this the start of the new bull market? Oh my goodness, we have been waiting for 3 years for this to happen, and some of them have gone up over 122%. So my name, Marcus de Maria, this is my head trader, Dennis Salstrom, and we're going to be looking at the charts, showing you how you can become profitable. And of course, the very first thing we're going to do is to make sure that we review the stocks from last week. All right, so let's get started with our first stock. What are we looking at, Dennis?
Yes, so what we're looking at, or what we looked at last week, the first one was Apple. So a couple of weeks ago, we did go in here down at around the blue line where it had a sufficient drop for our VCA strategy. And it was also at a good support level. So we thought, it's Apple, they just released the iPhone 12, so we got in. But then last week we discussed to move our stop loss up. So my stop loss was moved to under the trough here, around the 112 mark. And you were a little bit more aggressive with how you wanted to move it.
Let's see what happened.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, and there we go.
What does that mean? So I was out pretty much immediately. I got my profit. You are very close to getting out as well.
I'm very close to getting out.
You are out. Come on.
It's not 1% below.
Well, we could work it out afterwards, but it looks pretty close.
It is close.
So therefore, I think I've won that one. Not that it's competition.
Not yet.
Okay, it depends what happens.
Yeah, if it goes down,
it's not going to go straight back. It's going to go down a bit. And by the way, there's a little thing at the bottom. Doesn't matter. It's all good. We've made a profit. Both of us have made a profit. Either this much or this much. Obviously, this much being a lot better. But okay, so what's next?
And next up, we traded the volatility as well. So alternation.
Okay, so this is like a vertical buffalo. That's really what it is. You've got several bounces. 1, 2. We count that as 1, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6, 7 on here. So is this from last week, or where is this from?
This is from last week, and we were waiting for it to just come down a little bit to give us a better entry price. So we're not chasing.
Absolutely. We never ever chase the stock. That's what you've got to understand. Like some people would have gotten in there. No, it's got to hit that line. So therefore, what actually happened? So
what happened was it actually came down.
Boom.
So yesterday would have been a good time to place your order if you had this new watch list.
1% above here, and that red line there, and so we would be in this right now. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, what's next? Let's see what happens. It's a nice, let's see how much further this can go. This can actually carry on for a long time, as it already has been. The challenge is, of course, from 28 up to around the 62 mark. That's one hell of a game. Okay, what's next?
So next we have Cardinal Health.
So shorting this one, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so on this line here, it gapped up. It would have been 1% below this mark here. What happened?
Yeah, so what happened was it actually gapped right down.
Remember, gapping is when after the market is closed for us, the retail, what can happen is that the institutions get in here, they sold off. So this is really interesting. If we would have placed our order at 1% below then, actually what happened was that we would have gotten in at the open of the market at this price here. After that, it did go down, went back up again, so the bulls went in and then went up. So we would have been in a loss position for a while, but now we are in a positive right now, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so stop losses moved down to break even just because of the gap. It gave us a lot worse risk-reward ratios. I don't want to risk anything here. So stop losses moved down. So the worst thing that can happen now is that we get out at break even.
At break even, so we won't lose any money. No matter what happens, we will not have a loss. Let's hope we have a gain. All right, what is next?
Next up is Zoom.
Zoom.
And we wanted that to zoom higher last time, but instead it zoomed lower.
It zoomed lower, but it allowed us to get in a second time, which means that our average, if we would have put the same amount of money in, would have been in the middle. First entry, second entry, and in the middle. But what we do is we put a certain percentage more money in on top, thereby making sure that our average is around here. Let's see what happens, Dennis.
Yeah, so what happened at this point was it actually has moved up a little bit.
Yeah, it's moved up a little bit, so we are now firmly in profit. Well, firmly, we're a little bit in profit, which is nice to see. Okay, for me personally, I would love for it to come down more. We get in again before this moves up because people are using Zoom. It is the what do you call this software? What kind of software is it? Like go to webinar software, meeting software, etc. of choice.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Let's see what happens there.
Yeah, and then we looked at cryptos as well.
Ooh, yes.
So we looked at this big divergence, if you like, between like Bitcoin started to move up, Ethereum started to move up, but XRP and a lot of the other altcoins. An altcoin is just the smaller cryptos, everything except for Bitcoin basically. And those things didn't really move when we spoke last week. But have they moved now? Well,
have they moved
let's
now?
find
That's
out.
the question. Let's have a look.
So we looked at XRP as a first one. It was around 29 cents when we spoke last week.
Ooh.
And from that moment, it's just, I don't know, gone vertical. So up 122% from that moment.
122% in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around 5 days. So basically one trading week, it has gone up massively. And actually, this is 122% from where it is now. But in reality, when it went up to 0.8, it would have been a hell of a lot more, probably about 140, 150% there. So it looks like right now the bears are in control, but let's see what happens. Some people are probably going to be taking a little bit of profit right now, Dennis, right? Milking that market. You've got to milk that cow as it goes up. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, and what we said last time was Bitcoin had gone up so high, so we said that we sold some of our Bitcoins into altcoins in order so we get more altcoins for our Bitcoins. So that was so far a good decision. So let's see what happens there, because Bitcoin was really high. It was around 16,700.
Yeah.
But now it's around 18,900, so it's up around 13%. So good, but not 122%.
You've got to understand this is Bitcoin. It's blockchain 1.0. It's the oldest, right? It's almost 12 years old. 2008 is when the white paper came out from Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever they or it might or he might be.
Or she,
right? But it's also slow, it's expensive, etc. For it to go up 13%, it's normal, right? It's nothing.
No, and you say that, right? I mean, but this is the one that almost gone up the most. I mean, since March, Bitcoin was at 4,000, now almost at 19,000.
Oh, for sure.
So it's a
for
big move.
I mean, out of all the asset classes out there, Bitcoin has outperformed every asset class bar none, which is very, very impressive indeed. But that's what I mean, like 13% when you think about what it's done over the last few months is just normal for what it's doing. What's happening to Ether, my favorite?
Yeah, we're going to discuss the cryptos a bit more, like what are we doing now in the update, but in this week's update. But Ethereum was at 464.
I think I mentioned last time that this could be seen as a kind of a, not very nice, but could be seen as some kind of a cup formation. Normally what happens that if it goes then above this high here, then it would break out. So let's see what happened there, Dennis.
It did break out. We didn't get the real handle, maybe, but it did break up to the upside.
It did break
so 30%.
Not bad. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again 5 trading days, right? So basically, since we spoke last time, 30%, which means that our entire portfolios have gone up substantially, and now, which we should show probably next week as well, is that the other altcoins, alt comes from alternative, so the alternative coins to Bitcoin. Originally, Dennis, this was coined for the alternatives just to Bitcoin. So, for example, Litecoin and Dash and even Bitcoin Cash, that were alternatives to Bitcoin. That's what they call them, altcoins. But now everything's called altcoins. So they've now started moving, right?
Yeah, they started moving. We're going to have a look at that in this week's update.
We're going to look at it in this week's update. Woo! It's good to know that I know what's going on. All right, fantastic. So that is the update. Everything is looking pretty good right now. One of the things I would say is that we need to make sure that we also got some short positions as well. And we have a few, but maybe we need to watch out to make sure that we have enough so that when the market turns, that we can take advantage of that movement as well. Okay, so that's the update for this week. We're doing well, and let's look at what we're going to be talking about this week. Okay, so on to what is happening in the markets this week and what can we take advantage of. So Dennis, can we show that there is actually a reverse correlation, okay, negative correlation between the dollar or the price of the dollar and the stock exchange. So for example, as you can see here, this is the stock exchange, this is the dollar, and what you can see is as one goes down, the other one tends to go up. As this one goes down, this one goes up. As this one goes down, this one goes up, okay? So that is what's called a negative correlation. And it's really important to know these things, because if one moves up, chances are the other one is moving down. Now, why is this so important, Dennis?
Well, one, I think it's important to know, because when you see that one of them starts moving and breaking a resistance or support, so we can see now that the dollar index, the DXY, is at a support level, the black line we've drawn there. So if that holds and we see that it's starting to gain some momentum, so it starts to move up, we can then expect the stock market to move down.
Absolutely. Can we have a look at the chart though?
Yeah, we can do that. So there we go.
There we go. So you can see it here, right? So the dollar index here, bouncing, it's got some support, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. So everybody's going to be looking at that same chart right now and looking to see whether is it going to go up, which it although the trend is down, this one here for the last few months, since around August time, has been going sideways. So what do you think, Dennis? Is it going to go up?
Well, we don't know, but it looks like it's consolidating, so we're gonna either have a move down. If it breaks below, we can expect the stock market to continue up. But if it holds and we see it's breaking higher, and I would love to see this break above the 95 region. So now it's at $92. If it breaks up above 95, I would expect the dollar to move up quite a bit and the stock market then to come down a bit more.
So just something to watch out for there. Next, we're going to be talking about the vaccine optimism with Pfizer and Moderna, and now Regeneron coming out with their one. So lots and lots, suddenly, after Trump has been pushed to the side, suddenly, there's all good news. But what is actually happening is that we have more 60 million cases out there of people who have the virus at the moment. So you've kind of got this optimism on one side, which is good for the markets. On the other side, more and more people, they're either being tested, that's one thing we've got to watch out for, they're either being tested or they have it. Do we have any chance to look at?
Yeah, it could be that. And then the other thing is now we're coming up to both Christmas, Thanksgiving and flu season, right? So it's just a lot of things that could make the cases go up.
That's funny.
It is, right?
Well,
so
Thanksgiving and Christmas I would have put in one category, and flu season. But it's true, right? So there's going to be lots of people getting ill. So let's see what Pfizer can do about this. Now, we were looking to get in if it fell enough. It hasn't quite fallen enough for us to get in, unless you're extremely bullish on this particular stock. But remember, the big warning that we had last time was that the CEO sold millions of his shares and made a nice little profit, which kind of indicates maybe...
Yeah, because if he was certain that it's gonna go up because they're gonna sell millions of vaccines, it's like, why would he sell like 70% of his shares?
Why 70% of his shares? Holy moly. So there's somebody there. Well, he's still keeping 30. Look positive. Glass a third full.
A third full.
But the point is that is a little bit of a red flag, and as you can see, red candles as well. If we look at the next chart, we're looking at Regeneron. Now, Regeneron, remember when Trump went into hospital, and being POTUS, of course, they gave him something very, very powerful, an antiviral cocktail, which came up from this company, or was created by this company, Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. Well, guess what? That antiviral cocktail, which worked so well on Trump, he said he never felt bigger, better, and all this kind of stuff. He is now fallen, but has been given FDA approval. Once you have FDA approval, it means you can actually go to market and start marketing and selling these things. But it's down from a recent high, which for us is an indication to get in. We don't like to buy high, we like to buy low, Dennis.
We do like to buy low, absolutely. And the thing is with they got this approval on Saturday, so it's actually brand new. So we're looking at this and see, are people buying or selling? And we took a look at their fundamentals. So the fundamental looks quite good. They have they're making like 3.6 billion in profits. That's with a B, right? And they have low debt, which is always a good sign for us. And we don't like that it's a negative earnings per share this year, but it is this year. It is the Corona year. But next year it looks better, and also the next couple of years looks okay. And the return on their assets investment. So they have good numbers, but there is one big but.
Yeah. That is insider. It's the same, right? So that's really funny. So in fact, what the CEO of Pfizer did, they are doing insider Regeneron as well. This minus 37.96%. If we just hover on the insider transaction there, Dennis, yeah, you can see this is the 6-month change in insider ownership, meaning that there has been a drop of 37% of insider ownership. So people inside the company are selling it. The insiders, the directors, the CEOs, CFOs, well, we don't know who exactly. Well, we could find out, no problem at all. But the directors are selling it. What does that say? It does not really look very as much as if they have confidence.
Very healthy.
Oh, very good. Thank you. You've been a great audience. All right, wonderful. Yeah. Okay, but let's have a look at some. So you got to take, you got to look when something is a little bit smelly.
Yeah.
It's a bit fishy, right?
Yeah, if you look at Apple, if you look at these big tech companies, there's no insiders selling, right? No. People are buying these shares, and that's a good sign, right? Because they're buying, if it's good enough for them, if it's good enough for the people in the company, then it's good enough for us.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at some general charts that we can maybe get into.
Yeah, so the reason we're looking at some charts is because this week there's a lot of economic data coming out. We're going to have like the GDP numbers, the jobless claims. It's the last week of the month.
We're going to have a lot of volatility.
A lot of volatility. So we are looking at a few new charts here, besides from all the other ones we've been showing.
But Dennis, look at that amazing candle going down there. I mean, this has gone down there more than 20%, probably more, right? 25%.
Yeah.
I mean, and then shooting straight back up. Absolutely incredible. Something to do with earnings, no doubt.
Yeah.
But then shooting straight back up. So this one here, definitely, we are looking to, what do you think? We're looking to short this one.
Absolutely.
For sure, we're looking to short this one. No doubt about that one at all.
It's a good-looking buffalo chart. And then we have the other one here as well. This is ARCT. So Alpha Romeo, Citrus, Tango.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Town. So we do have a couple of reversal candles. And what that means is that there's certain patterns. All these things you see on it, the green and red ones, they're candles. So when they build certain formations and they look a certain way, it's called kind of candlestick patterns or formations. And some of them show you that the market might be going down. So we have a couple of those that shows indecision in the market. So it might be going down from here. It is at a resistance, the top red line here. So we will be looking at going down, but only if we have the 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. And the candle we got yesterday, the red one, which has a big black wick here, is kind of a long candle.
I hate to tell you this, it's actually red.
No, it's not, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was okay, that's funny.
Dennis is colorblind, so he actually doesn't know. We try not to laugh at him because that would be unkind.
Yes, very much so. But you can laugh with me.
Yes, we're definitely laughing with you.
So I'm waiting for maybe hopefully today's candle is a bit smaller and still touching. And if that is the case, I'm going to place an order on this in order to really get a good risk-reward ratio on this.
Yeah. And what happens when you see that blue candle there? What happens then?
The blue candle. Then if I see a blue candle, I know I'm dreaming. So.
Okay, very good. So you're looking to sell short on this one, and we've got a nice 1-to-3-to-1 ratio on there, or 1-to-3 ratio. Otherwise, and remember, what does Town do? Do you know what Town Bank actually does? Is it bank?
Yeah.
But you're not sure, right?
I'm not 100%.
Okay, and this is a very important point, because when we're doing pattern trading, we always have a stop loss. So it really doesn't matter about many things, including even fundamentals, because in the short term, that's all we're doing. We've got a stop loss at this point here. We know we're getting in. We're willing to risk 1 in order to make 3. And that is what we are doing. Okay, what else do we have?
I think this is it for the stock news, but I would love to go over to, we have something coming up which is called Black Friday, which will be exciting. So that is in the next part.
That is fantastic. So let's go and find out about that now. All right, so everybody, I'm sure you're excited because this Friday is, of course, Black Friday, where we have all those amazing deals, and then Monday is Cyber Monday or whatever it is. So lots and lots of deals coming up. I'm sure that you, like for example, me, the charting software, TradingView,
yeah, we're gonna
60% off.
Exactly, and also ledgers. You can buy your crypto ledgers, 40% off.
Ooh, now that is worth doing. Remember when you buy your Trezor and your ledgers when it comes to cryptos, make sure you do get it from the site itself. You don't want to buy it on eBay, even Amazon, because what you don't want is somebody to have bought them in bulk, open them, put a virus in there, which sends your coins to them. They close it up and sell it to you. So please make sure you go to the official websites when you do that. Let's have a look at, well, obviously, look, what's going to happen, and going into Christmas as well. What generally tends to happen is that there's this thing called the Santa Rally, or it is the Santa Rally, not Father Christmas Rally, the Santa Rally, because everybody's going to be spending a lot of money. Are they going to be doing this year though? I'm thinking about myself, and I'm thinking, yes, it's bad out there, but I really feel like I really want to go for it this year, to kind of try and forget this year a little bit. So for me, very unusually, being a saver, I'm going to go for it this year. Yeah. So let's have a look at some of the companies that might take advantage of that, Dennis.
Yeah, so a couple of weeks ago we looked at Boohoo Group. It's a big retail conglomerate, and now it's around the same level.
It is around the same level, but look at this. Look at nice swings. Right? If you wanted to do some kind of swing investing, like that, this is nice. Okay, and it's fairly near the low. Yes, it would have been better back when we looked at it a few weeks ago, but still now maybe it's come down just a little bit. I don't know.
If it can come down a little bit, I would be very happy to trade this. So I have this in my watch list.
You want to trade it, not invest in it?
Both.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but I think the point here is we just wait a little bit, see if it comes down before Black Friday, and then we might have an opportunity to get in here.
Mm-hmm. I think that's going to take some while, so we'll probably have a look at that next week. Okay, what else do we have?
Absolutely. And then we are looking at ASOS as well.
ASOS.
So ASOS is also a very, very big online retailer. And I think that could be, if you're looking to do an VCA or an investment, this could be a good opportunity as well.
Yeah, rather than trading, because of this candle here, unfortunately it throws off where we would be able to put our stop loss, and the ratio would be all wrong. So therefore, this would be an investment. It was at 5400, now at 4. Yeah, so it's down around an entry point. So if you believe in ASOS, if you think it's a good company, you use it a lot, everybody else that you know uses it a lot, and they're going to do well over the next few months.
Exactly. So ASOS is one, but then we have other ones. So Alibaba Group, right? So Alibaba is a massive company in Asia, especially. But we order
that
from.
That is the Amazon of Asia.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's also, they're going to be doing a lot of selling, not selling of the shares hopefully, but selling of goods and.
That fell nicely, Dennis, right? That would have given us a nice entry point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. Okay. But it's come up here. What would you do anything, or would you wait for it to come out here? Because we seem to have a kind of a support line. It's not great though, is it? I mean, it's a bit all over the place. Not sure about this one.
No, not sure. I would wait like for a 20% drop, then I would be happy to get into this as well.
20% drop from here, 20% drop from here?
No, 20% drop from the top here. Okay, so I think it could be around a good entry point now.
Yes.
And we would like it to fall more, so we can enter more times.
But the challenge is, if you say it's dropped 20%, we really should have already gone in here and maybe gone in again, right? So we've kind of missed that, no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Never chase a stock. We're just going to say next. All right, what do we have here?
And then we have Amazon. Now, Amazon obviously is Amazon, so it's very expensive. One stock is $3,000. But I think they're going to do a lot of sales, so it also might go up in the shorter term, right? So for the Christmas season and also... But that's interesting, because maybe now during lockdown, they have sold so much. So can they do even more during Christmas? It is a little bit different now, I think, if we compare it now from previous Christmases as well. I think Amazon, they even have... You can buy food from them, right?
But as people... I was going to say, as people aren't allowed to go out, then what are they going to do? They're going to go to the most trusted retailer that they can, which in my opinion is Amazon. But you will need at least $3,000 just to buy one share, because they've never had what's called a stock split. What generally tends to happen is that when a company gets to normally $100 or even $200, forget about $3,000, they have a stock split. Okay, so instead of holding one share at 100, they split the stock, and you can then, the share is worth 50, but you suddenly have two shares. They give you an extra share. Okay, that's a 2-for-1 split. You can have other splits as well. Here, they've never done it. So therefore, I mean, why don't they do it? I don't understand why they don't do it.
I don't know either. I mean, maybe it's a little bit the same like Warren Buffett. He doesn't do it with Berkshire Hathaway either. It's just because, I don't know why. It's just weird. Yeah,
that's weird. Okay, so that's that one there. What else do we have?
PayPal.
Oh, PayPal, as we know, has just announced that they are going to be accepting the holding of, but also the trading of, or at least the buying of, Bitcoin. I don't know whether they said all cryptocurrency. Oh, I think there were like 6 of them.
Yeah, they have a few already.
Yeah.
And it is quite high fees still, right? And you cannot move them from PayPal.
Which is ridiculous. So what you're going to do,
option.
yeah, you're going to buy them there and then what? Keep them there? I guess in order to convert them back and then to use them.
And you can accept them as payments eventually as well, right? So that's the benefit, but it's only going to be within the PayPal ecosystem, as for now at least.
But it did drop 20% here. That would have been a good entry point. And this is looking a little bit like a buffalo as well. It is very high right now, so unfortunately we're not going to be getting in. I don't know about selling short at the top either, but let's hopefully it comes down over the next few days and we'll look to get in there. So kind of a mix, maybe 1.5 potentials for us to be able to get into and to take advantage of Black Friday. Whatever happens, I'm sure you'll be taking advantage of Black Friday in your own way. All right, next. Let's look at what is happening in the crypto markets. I know we did a quick recap, so we kind of know things seem to be hotting up, maybe even the start of the bull market, but there's something very, very strange going on. Dennis?
Yes, something very strange is going on. So
Dennis isn't what's strange. I mean, there's something strange going on. Dennis?
Yeah, so what's interesting is we are seeing a lot of the cryptos move. We're going to have a look at a few in just a moment. But when we look at how much people are searching, this is the Google Trends. So you can actually see how much people are searching in the interest of something over time. And everyone Googles, right?
How much is trending at the moment on Google? Are people looking for Bitcoin?
And what's bizarre is in 2017, when Bitcoin was approximately at the same price as it is now, it was just massive, right? It went viral, the media caught up, and the media wrote about Bitcoin everywhere. Everyone got into Bitcoin. But now, I mean, it hasn't really moved.
Well, it has moved slightly, but not really. It's not at an all-time high or anything like that. Oh, nowhere near at 2017. What is going on? The media don't seem to be bothered.
I think there's 2 ways to look at it. The first way would be, well, if it hasn't got attention now, I mean, then the upside could be tremendous.
Whoa, right? As the media start talking about it, everybody goes, oh, I need to get into some Bitcoin. Oh yeah, it really has gone up, and they jump in at the top. That would be good for us.
Or the second scenario is obviously that it's some kind of manipulative move we're seeing, and it might be going down again.
But what's that got to do with the media? The media should still pick it up. Look, if something like Bitcoin is now very, very close, this isn't the chart of Bitcoin, so if it's very, very close to its all-time highs, I mean, it was almost at 18,600. The all-time high was just below 20,000. That is something people should be talking about, surely.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
It hasn't happened, which is absolutely bizarre.
Yeah.
So
it is. So we'll see what happens. But that makes me a little bit, I don't know, it's just weird, right? But I guess maybe the media is very occupied by other things, such as the election, for example, the vaccines, the COVID. Maybe Bitcoin is...
Right. True.
But I still find it a bit strange. But it depends. If you look at crypto news, it's never been bigger. Cryptos has never been bigger, never more written about, never more secure, never more evolved than it is now. So that's what's strange. So
and used as well.
But we do like that, right? We do like that the usage and everything is going up while the price is going up now as well. But yeah, it's a little bit weird this. But let's look at a couple of charts.
Whatever will happen, as soon as Bitcoin goes above 20,000, everybody will have to start, even the mainstream will have to start reporting it, okay?
Exactly. So if we have a look at the Bitcoin chart, this is on a weekly chart. So every candle represents 1 week. And just know this, we're not saying get in now. It's very high. I would absolutely wait for it to drop before I get in. So always do that, never enter at the high, right? This is what everybody does. That's what most people do lose money with investing and trading. So make sure you do follow a strategy, and we would suggest a VCA strategy. But if you look at some other ones, this is where it becomes interesting. So Bitcoin is around an all-time high here. It's around this high point that it was in 2017. But if we look at some of the other ones, now I want to just show you here, this is the Bitcoin chart, and then if we look at Bitcoin Cash. This is Bitcoin Cash on a weekly chart as well, and Bitcoin Cash had a high actually in 2017 of $1,400. This is an upgrade of Bitcoin basically, of $1,400, but now it's at $337. So it is not near the high point that Bitcoin is at the moment. So it has such a long way to go, and we are seeing that these altcoins, all other coins than Bitcoin, are starting to move a bit. So maybe it's a good time, like Marcus and I are doing, that we are we are selling some Bitcoin in order to buy some of the altcoins because they're still very low. And what we saw last time in 2017 was Bitcoin moved up first and then the altcoins went up afterwards.
So it's worth just emphasizing the point that instead of selling some of our high Bitcoin and going into, I don't know, US dollar or maybe a Tether or something like that, or a stable coin, we're actually rotating into altcoins because they'll have a higher percentage potential than Bitcoin will. What else do we have?
Yeah, just to show a few other examples. This is Litecoin, right? This is if Bitcoin is gold, then Litecoin is the silver. It's more volatile and it's faster than Bitcoin as well. But we can see here that Litecoin went up to over $425 back in 2017, and now it's at 88.
So it still has a massive upside to go. Okay, so what is next?
Yeah, and next is a few other examples. We have Neo as well. This was meant to be the Chinese Ethereum. It was over $100, and we're seeing it at a 19 at the moment. This is by no means any buying recommendations. We're just showing you what is happening, that Bitcoin has moved up a lot, but all of the other ones that did move up a lot in 2017 has barely moved. I mean, I say barely moved, but it's still gone from like $4 in March to 20, so it's kind of a good move.
That's right.
Yeah, and then we can look at XLM as well. XLM is also
Stellar.
Stellar Lumen.
I made a lot of money with Stellar in 2017. It just kept going up and up and up. I kept milking like 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. It was awesome.
Yeah. So I think, so this is not going up either, right? A lot, right? It's at 15 cents at the moment. It was a lot higher in 2017. And then the last one is EOS as well. EOS has such a big promise. I think they raised something like $4 billion in their ICO, but it's only been going down. It was well over $30, I think, at one point. Now it's at 3, right? 3.45.
Ridiculous. I don't know what's happening.
So, but one question I want to ask you, Marcus, is so when people might be asking, okay, so if it now starts to really go up, how should I sell? When should I sell?
So what?
Sell the crypto. Should they just be holding for? Because a lot of people held it through the big rise in 2017 all the way down without taking any profits.
I think it's really important that you, ahead of you having any kind of emotion as it going up, that you have certain points, either prices or percentages that you want to make in order to get out. The way to really do it is to have a look at certain price points. So for example, if you're looking at this one here, what you could do is you could take some out at this level here, some out at this level here, and some out at this level here. I don't mean go back in time with a time machine, but what I mean is as it goes here, you could take, let's say 20% here, another 20% here, another 20%, because that's what happened last time. So that's one good way of doing it.
Very good, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Cool.
All right, what else do we have? We have, what about this, the whales? You want to talk about the whales quickly?
Yeah, we can do that.
Is it important to talk about that?
Not really well. There is one thing that is worth considering, because since everything is public with the blockchain, you can actually see how many people that hold like 10,000 Bitcoin or more. You can see those called whales. If they hold more than 10,000 Bitcoin, it's seen as a whale. They can move the market. If they sell 10,000 Bitcoin, the price will go down.
Are you a whale, Dennis?
No, not yet. Not in Bitcoin, but in other coins. But I think the point here is you can actually see those wallets, and what we have been seeing is there's more than ever holding 10,000 Bitcoin in a wallet. Now, the way to look at this is, well, it is good, right? Because more people are holding, more people might believe it's going to go up. But if they start to move those coins from their wallets to an exchange, it might mean that they're going to sell and then that the market will go down. So it's something to look out for.
But what's happening at the moment? They're keeping them in their wallets, right?
So far, so good. But we know that it only takes a couple of minutes to move them from a wallet to an exchange.
It certainly does. Sometimes seconds. In other news, Ripple has now officially, I thought this was already the case, I've been talking about this for months, but they've now officially said that the Bank of America is one of their partners. Remember, Ripple is working with over 200 different of the biggest banks all around the world, showing them how to use cryptocurrencies to make things faster, more efficient, and cheaper for the end user clients like ourselves. Now, for them to say, you've got to understand, Bank of America, only JP Morgan, the big bank which holds trillions under management. Number 2 is Bank of America. It's a huge bank. This is big, big news. Maybe that is why Ripple went up so much.
Could be.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Could be.
I mean, well, Ripple hasn't really done much since 2017. Just been going down and sideways, while Bitcoin, the others, has moved quite a bit.
Yeah. You were saying something interesting. You were saying that last time it went up to the level that it's gone now, but it just came all the way back down to 0.25.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't know what's going to happen. So it's important to take profits along the way.
Milk that cow.
Yeah, do that. But what happened in 2017, which was interesting, was that, well, a bit after that, Bitcoin and XRP moved. They had a negative correlation. So when XRP moved up, Bitcoin moved down, and then the other way happened as well. But we haven't seen that. But maybe, hopefully, we can start to see that again. So you can actually hedge yourself of the moving prices in cryptos. So let's see what happens.
All right. So fear and greed. You want to quickly talk about that?
We could talk about fear and greed quickly as well. So if we have a look at the fear and greed index, it's quite an interesting way of looking at the market. But what we're seeing here is that the market is around 88 currently, which is extreme greed. So Warren Buffett said it best, I think. What did he say, Marcus?
He said, make sure that you're greedy when other people are being fearful, and probably vice versa. Although actually he said that way, right? Be greedy when other people are fearful, but right now people are being greedy, so I'm supposing you're supposed to do the other way, but I'm not sure about that, because George Soros also said, and by the way, George Soros hasn't made as much money as Warren Buffett, but percentage-wise he's up on Warren Buffett, is that when you see a bubble forming, what do you think? What do you think most people do? They
sell, they get in.
Well, no, they sell, right? George Soros says, if you see a bubble forming, get in. Yeah. And so there's always this, is it this, is it that, etc. and so forth.
I think the point here is make sure you use a strategy, because there's no one that knows. Warren Buffett is right sometimes, or Soros is right sometimes, which is why we have a strategy when we know the exact points we're selling and when we're buying. You need to know that beforehand, because otherwise you're gonna be with Bitcoin up to 20,000, down to 4,000, up to 20,000, and don't make any money really. So you need to take profits as well.
All right, so that is our roundup of cryptos for the week. I hope you enjoyed this week's market update, and please comment below. Are you in cryptos? And if you are you up? I'm sure you are. Please comment below. Celebrate your successes. What percentage are you up? Which coin is it in? Which one are you looking to get into next? Are you looking to rotate out of Bitcoin into some of the altcoins? Please comment below. If you enjoyed today's video, please do hit that like button. We thank you in advance, and make sure you do subscribe to this channel to make sure that you don't miss out on all the trades that we're getting into, so you can become profitable as well.